Alright, I'm starting off with the brows. I'm using Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Soft Brown on an Anastasia No. 12 brush. This brush is pretty stiff, so I'm only going to use it to define the bottom edge of my brow. Then I'm using a MAC 208, which is a lot more flexible of a brush, to fill in the rest because this gives a more natural and diffused look. When I get to the head of my brow, I take my brush without any additional product on it, turn it vertically, and wiggle it left and right to blend a little bit of product into that area. One trick I like to use when I'm finishing my brows is to take that Anastasia brush again with a medium amount of product on it, and I'll use that and dot along the tail of my brow to imitate hairs. To set my brows in place, I'm using the Anastasia Brow Gel in the shade Brunette. This is really great because it adds a small amount of color onto the actual brow hairs and keeps them in place all day. To start out the eyeshadow look, I'm taking shade 13 from the Jaclyn Hill Favorites palette by Morphe Cosmetics with a Morphe M332 brush as my transition shade. I'm applying the shadow throughout my crease from inner corner to outer corner. Before moving on to the next shadow, blend until there are no harsh edges left. The final product will come out so much better if you take the time to blend in between each step. From that same palette, I'm taking shade 62, which is a medium neutral brown, on the same Morphe M332 brush that we used to apply our transition shade. I'm applying this new color lower in my crease than the transition color, and I'm adding a little bit extra to the outer corner for some added depth. To make sure everything is blended before moving on to the next step, I'm using a Morphe 330 brush to diffuse the edges. Next, I'm taking shade 63 on a Morphe 411 brush. This brush has a strong taper that makes it easy to apply dark shadows right into the deepest part of the crease and the outer corner. To blend this all together, I'm using the Morphe M332 brush. For the lower lash line, I'm mixing shades 13 and 62 with a Morphe M431 brush. To further blend out the lower lash line, I'm using a fluffy, clean blending brush. For the lid, I'm using MAC Pigment in the shade Tan. This is a beautiful rose gold shade, and I'm applying this with a Morphe B83 lid brush. For eyeliner, I'm using the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. So when I start, I use the side of the felt tip applicator rather than the tip to line right along the base of my lash line. I find that using the length of the applicator is much easier and more steady than using just the tip. Once I line from the inner corner to the outer, I draw a line from the end of my lash line up and out toward the tail of my brow, stopping at whatever length I want my wing to be that day, and then I connect it straight down toward my lash line. I then smooth everything out and use the applicator in a flicking motion to make a sharp tip to my wing. mascara, I used the L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara in Carbon Black. You could stop after this step if you wanted to, but I went on to apply false eyelashes from House of Lashes in the style Siren. You could really go with any lip color with this eye look because it's pretty neutral, but I went with a pinky purple lip to complement the mustard yellow sweater that I wore out that night. I'm using the NYX lip liner in Natural, followed by Kat Von D liquid lipstick in the shade Lovesick. Don't mind the little mascara smudge across my nose. I fixed it later with concealer, I just didn't realize at the time. And that concludes my winter date night tutorial. All the products that I used in this video will be listed in the down bar, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching!